Gledao sam očima svojim kako puca u čovjeka.
I've watched them shoot men and miss from 3 meters away, and then take an automatic and just cut them in half. In the concentration camp, human life is worth absolutely nothing. That leaves many wounds and scars.
Don't just look at me and think it's okay. There's so much hidden beneath until you start talking to me. If you saw me, just saw my face, you wouldn't know I'm a survivor.
All these people, once they had their lives and they had their identities, and then you are not prepared to lose all of that just overnight. And when you come to the new country and if you don't have a language, and on top of that you lose your identity, then you become invisible.
And all the windows are closed so that you don't even have air, and they don't give you water, and they don't give you food, they don't give you anything. So at that time you can imagine that people started falling into comas, screaming, yelling, they were going crazy. They killed people with wooden sticks and just repeatedly hit them on the head until they fell and died, and you have no choice but to watch.
If you're hearing the screams of somebody, if you're forced to watch someone being killed, if you're in a war zone, or if you're witnessing genocide, or if you're witnessing someone being tortured, but you aren't directly tortured yourself, it can still be torture. We're really seeing torture of every kind imaginable. Physical, there's emotional, there's verbal, there's being interrogated, there's being detained, there's mock executions.
Torture demeans, torture just takes out your self-esteem, your self-determination, and just make you into a zombie. When you get to be a zombie, you really need help. You need the people to reassure you that no, this may have happened to you, but there is so much more in you.
I think it's a duty for healthcare providers to be conscientious, to think carefully about what your role is and what position of authority you have, because clients that have experienced torture have been abused by people in positions of authority. And for a health professional, it's important to be human, being able to dedicate more sensitivity, and being vigilant, knowing that in the Bay Area now we have a huge population of immigrants and refugees.
When I came here, I wasn't sleeping well. My heart beats. I had many things that because of stress. Even up to now, I really was afraid of trusting people.
A very basic sense of trust that's been betrayed, that's been lost. The focus in therapy is really on helping the clients re-establish a sense of trust in humanity. I see that as the foundation for the therapy. Once you've got that grounding, you can begin to work on more specialized techniques that are trauma-focused.
There are 3 basic clusters in post-traumatic stress disorder. The first cluster is the re-experiencing. The person is constantly revisiting it in their mind, in their thoughts, in their dreams, whether they want to or not. The second thing is the physiological arousal. It's not just that they're thinking about it, it's when they think about it. They start to sweat, breathe heavily, they fidget, they feel like they're choking. The third cluster is avoidance. They may avoid it by just simply not talking about it, by saying that they're fine, by under-reporting, by minimizing. It's as if it happened yesterday for them, literally. They are still having flashbacks. They are still having nightmares.
They're in a constant state of fear, anxiety. They can also have issues around substance abuse. There's a lot of comorbidity.
We see patients that come with shopping bags full of prescriptions. They may not be taking anything for mental health issues. A lot of times they do present more in a medical setting because they think that they're having a heart attack, or that they've got a brain tumor, or that they're going crazy. First part of the treatment is psychotherapy and a psychiatric evaluation. So the psychiatric evaluation is to get them started on medications which will stabilize their moods and their physiological arousal.
The foundation of the medical treatment is going to be these types of medications. These are SSRIs, selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors. They seem to help with flashbacks and nightmares and re-experiencing events.
You need to build a sense of safety and rapport right away. This may be your only time in one visit to really establish a connection with this person where they trust you enough to come back. And you also want to have a goal that's tangible. If you work towards that goal, you're going to build some trust. And once you get to that point, then you can move into remembrance, into the mourning, into the rebuilding.
I think that there's so much hope comes from our clients in terms of their spirit, their struggle, and their ability not to give up. The expectation that they can be fulfilled in the future is re-established through our services and through working together with one another. And that sustains each of us.
I'm an eternal optimist, and I've been like that my entire life. I always look positively onto things, even though things can't always be positive. As Salco's caseworker for the past 6 months, I've seen tremendous improvement. He is much better able to cope in everyday life. He constantly says how through the services that the Center for Survivors of Torture has provided for him, he finally has someone to rely on, someone to guide him and help him navigate this new society. He says as if it was God who sent these services to him and brought these people to him to really help him.
The beautiful things in life have no price. A kind word can warm all those rainy days that the clients have had.
We just start from where we are. And because of that, back home I could have not thought one day to go back to school. Today I'm going to school, I'm trying to study and pick up a career that I can be able to do something for myself tomorrow. I'm not scared any longer. I am safe, I am calm, I am safe from harm.